Going live. Oof, I did it. Darlene, check that off the box.
That's right.
Awesome. So thanks for being here, ladies. I'm super glad to see your faces, and I have some really great information to share. And again, like I told Darlene and Vanessa, if I get too wonky, just slap me around a little bit and ask me for a different explanation, because I'm happy to do that. Some of it does get kind of techie. So my name's Linnell. I will be your stewardess tonight, your flight attendant, going through the lessons of metabolic health and MetaPWR. So super excited. I wonder if each of you might just introduce yourself to the others. And if you have a favorite product or oil right now, I'd love to know what those are.
Hi, I'm Darlene, and I'm actually taking is it the Vital Pack? Is that what it is? The Vitality Pack?
Lifelong Vitality. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going to tell you that has helped me tremendously with surgery I just underwent. So I'm very, very pleased with that right now.
Yay. Glad you're here.
Thank you. I am too.
All right. Who else wants to go?
I'll go next. I'm Vanessa. Nice to meet you guys, or ladies, I should say. I'm new to the oils and I don't really know a lot about it, so I'm learning with Linnell.
All right.
We are all learning from each other at this point. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that.
And then my name is Corrine Casanova, and I met Linnell through running, and she's an amazing runner. We never run together because she's like way too fast, but I always look at her butt. She's always looking cute. But anyway, I bought that metabolic pack because Linnell says, like, you need that. And then I'm like afraid to use it. So I'm like, why did I spend all this money on it? And I'm afraid to use it. So that's why I'm here.
I'm glad to hear that, because we shouldn't spend money on stuff we're not going to use, right? So
I know it. I do it all the time.
I haven't used it yet either.
Okay, well,
I don't know what to do.
I'm going to tell you right here, it's like the gloves are off. Let's break into that, because it is nothing to be afraid of. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen, see if I can make this thing work. I had to do some upgrades, and I'm trying to not be afraid of it. So let's play this baby. Okay, so we're here to talk about metabolic health. And so you all know different little tidbits about me, but right now what I want to share is that I am a master's degree toxicologist, and I have been an amateur athlete for just about my whole life. I have been an agency wonk. I have been an entrepreneur and a health coach. And I am all about advocating for health and wellness, especially women's health and wellness, because we carry the world. So I'm super glad to share this little bit of information. And if I can figure out what my prompts are, that's going to be awesome. So this is the MetaPWR education course. And I think you all have an opportunity to unmute yourselves. If you have any questions as we go, jump in, okay? Don't wait till the end, because you might lose your train of thought and we might lose track of the long game. Okay, so my story. I love starting with this because seriously, these products have changed my life. So when my kiddo was 6, this was 8 years ago, he had 104-degree fever that lasted for 2 weeks. Put him on antibiotics, did what the doc said, 2 whole weeks of 104-degree fever, Tylenol and Advil around the clock. And it made it really anxious for me as a mom, because I was taking sick time, I was staying home with him, and he wasn't getting better. He finally broke his fever after 2 weeks and went back to school and spiked it again the very next day. So not real happy with that. We ended up putting him back on the Advil Tylenol rotation, and the very next day he started having really weird secondary symptoms and took him into the pediatrician's office, and they sent us hair on fire to St. Mary's, where we had a cardiologist and echograms and cardiograms all day long, hooked up to an IV. Scariest day ever, all to find out that it was the medications and the volume and length of medications that was causing his secondary symptoms. So I kind of became a little bit of a, a health advocate at that time, and started striking against the exclusive use of Western medicine. As a toxicologist, I knew that that was not the answer, and I didn't have another choice. So I feel like I've come through the dark ages, and now I really want to empower mamas and women to help keep all our families and our pets as healthy as they can be using natural products. So if there's ever anything that you want to know about or curious about and don't know how to ask or what to say, just buzz me, because I am really, my special sauce is translating. I'm also a children's author, and I love making sort of etheric and technical stuff understandable. So here we go. This is MetaPWR. It looks like a lot of different things. It's not actually that much. We're going to break it down one at a time and see what's right for you. It might be that you don't want to use all of it. You might just want to use it little by little. So the goal of MetaPWR is to optimize the positive effects of our healthy choices. We can't lay on the couch and eat bonbons all day long and expect that MetaPWR is going to make us look like we run marathons, right? So this is how I couch it. The wellness lifestyle is all about drinking enough water, getting enough fiber and healthy, clean food, making the right choices for our entire lifestyle, and then we get to enjoy the benefits of living a life in health. So the clear vision of what the state of the state in our country is right now is that we have an average population that follows a lifespan that is this gray line right here. And you see it drop down. And our lifespan pretty much ends as our health span ends, right? So where these two meet is where we end our life. So, but there's a whole huge amount of life that they say when our health span gets to 50% quality of life, that we really don't have far to go as far as our lifespan. And so if we were to take medical interventions and really work on doing, very significant treatments for Western medicine, right? So that would be treating our metabolism with, something, treating our blood sugar levels with something. After we've led a fairly unhealthy life, then sure, after the medical interventions, we can bump our lifespan out a little bit, but how much are we really improving our quality of life? And so when we are able to increase our health span, that means feeling good, being active, looking good longer and longer, so that we actually gain so many more years that are about feeling good and having a high quality of life. And that's really what we talk about, is trying to up level our wellness so that we are feeling the effects of a healthier life as soon as possible and extending that health span out. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Awesome. So the building block of MetaPWR is, of course, this awesome little blend of oils. Now, MetaPWR is a blend of lemon and peppermint, grapefruit. Let's see, what am I missing? Ginger root, cinnamon bark. And these are really fantastic. A lot of these we know about, we know to be true. People eat grapefruits when they want to feel good, right? So this is Dr. Nicole Stevens. I want to share her with you because she's a badass. She is the director of research and strictly with doTERRA. And she is a PhD scientist. She leads all of the clinical stuff that happens and the research projects that are really focused on getting the most out of the products that we release. So she tells us that they did a preclinical study as part of the development of this blend. And we've got to do some confirming clinical research, but this is exciting. So the previous metabolic blend was called Slim and Sassy, and it used these same assortment of oils. But what they did is they reformulated it and they tested 3 different batches. The oils were in the same blend, but in different ratios. And what they did is they took human fat cells and they put them through a maturation process. And I'm going to show you the results, but I just want to explain it for a second. So they took the fat cells and exposed them to different stimuli. And the cell basically matures and accumulates little fat droplets inside of it. So in the next screen, you're going to see little balls appearing inside of the fat cells by day 14 of this maturation process. And I didn't want to show you all the different ratios, but this is the MetaPWR results. So this is what the very, very young adipose cells look like. Okay. And as they get bigger and bigger, normally our fat is going to start showing up on our bodies. Okay. So this second picture here is at day 14. And so then we're basically wanting to expose these cells that are full of fat to the blend of oils to see what happens when we expose them in this ratio. And look at this very last slide down here. Look at how thin and not retaining a whole bunch of fat they look. That is basically going to prevent us from looking like we've got dimples all over our legs, to be completely frank with you, right? So it's shrinking the size of the fat cells. We can't get rid of fat cells necessarily. It's getting rid of those fatty acids within our cells. So I really love that, because when we look at the control and how big the fat cells are on the control, and we look at the blend with the MetaPWR over 14 days time, it is absolutely astonishing to me, the difference. So now we're going to talk about cravings. This is Dr. Riggs. He's another one of our science wonks. And, you know, starting the day with a treat, something sweet, can start early. And if we start early, sometimes it sets off a cascade, right? Now we have to have sugar all day long. Cravings are really challenging to deal with, and it's normal for our self-discipline. Even if we didn't eat sweets at the beginning of the day, we didn't get a mocha, we had our coffee black, whatever, by the end of the day, we wind up with, you know, some serious cravings. And so we are needing to address that. And we have healthy habits that we can make easier with different products. So I love the MetaPWR oil because this is helping with cravings, and it is absolutely the metabolic blend. So it's going to help our metabolism stay higher. It's also going to help give us that little nip of something on the tongue. I find that the grapefruit and peppermint really do give me that nip that I'm looking for, that I might reach for something more salty or sweet. Instead, I can do this oil. And the oil, they've also got available in beadlets. So those of you that bought the whole system, you got the oil and the beadlets, and the beadlet is about 1 drop of oil, but in a little Tobiko size package. So it's really great because it'll give you great breath, and you don't have to carry the bottle of oil around in your pocket to get the benefit.
I have a question.
Yes.
Now, how much of the oil do you have to take to show, like, when you showed the slides of the breaking down over the 14 days, how much oil are you?
You know, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if you use it consistently, like in your water through the day, I don't know how much, and that's why Dr. Nicole said we need to do more clinical trials, but this is over a 14-day period. So if you mixed it up, because I know you drink a lot of water and I know you love your lemon in your water, if you mix up lemon and MetaPWR, you're going to notice a change. If you use MetaPWR when you start getting cravings, you're going to notice a change. You can even use MetaPWR oil for dry brushing in the shower, and it is amazing. You can actually feel it because it's thermogenic. You can feel it, like I imagine it just like freeing up the fat cells and getting it moving, because you know, dry brushing is about lymphatic drainage. So whether you're trying to clean your liver out or get rid of the dimples under the skin, dry brushing is really going to help. I feel like the disclaimer there is don't brush your skin off, because it's just a light touch that's needed. So if you want to try that, I would say find a Google video. You can even go into Midtown or the Wellness Inspiration Facebook groups and find videos to talk about that.
Okay, so there's not so many drops that you would take a day. You don't have a
No, nope. I think it's the consistency. And I'm going to talk about consistency and the slight edge because I really believe in it. And that is the premise that we're operating on right now is, you know, taking small steps and stacking them against each other to support us in the ways that we really know to be true. Okay. Does that answer your question, Darlene?
No, but it's okay.
Okay.
I heard you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And I think that it'll, like, as we go forward, you're going to get more and more ideas for those steps and how extensive they can be or not be.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Okay. So the second product, so the first product was the oil, and then the beadlets are in there as well. The second product we're going to talk about is MetaPWR Assist. And this is the capsule that builds upon that oil and features additional herbs and phytonutrients. I'm going to talk about exactly what that means. This is going to address our blood sugar levels. Now, I don't know if you guys know much about blood sugar. I am just coming up to speed on this because it's, you know, in the first half century of my life, it's not been something I've had to really think about. But it's becoming more and more clear that this is a really big deal. So blood sugar levels are one of the most significant markers of health. They can fluctuate depending on our eating and activity patterns. So again, you know, excessively high peaks and low valleys in our blood sugar are hallmarks for problems. I've heard it compared to driving your car with 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake, and applying them hugely, going fast or sliding to a stop and going back and forth between those extremes. It's going to wear out your brakes. It's going to wear out your whole system. The same is true of our bodies. So over time, these elevated blood sugar levels do wear out our car, our body, right? So a whole food diet and regular exercise are always the best ways to promote healthy blood sugar regulation. But less than 7% have optimal cardiometabolic health in our country. So with that number out there, there's very few people that I know who can't benefit from this. And I'm going to show you how it works. So again, we've got Dr. Nicole talking about first doTERRA clinical trials with MetaPWR Assist. So what happens is we have assembled, we being the larger we, Dr. Nicole and Alex DeBell and the other scientists at doTERRA, put together ingredients that work really well together. So the first thing I want to share is, besides the MetaPWR oil, what else is in there? Mulberry extract. So basically, this is a product that is capsules, and what the prescribed recommended amount is 1 capsule a day taken with your largest meal. So what mulberry extract does is it helps the body slow the digestion of carbs. And so if we take it with the meal or 15 minutes before the meal, then it basically helps keep the blood glucose levels steady. So if you can imagine, it is just, instead of spiking and crashing, it's going to mete out that energy over time and take the peak and valley aspect away. So instead of, driving up the East Sierra, you're driving out in the Sonoma County foothills, okay? As far as the blood sugar goes. These amino sugars that are in the mulberry extract interact with the digestive enzymes, and it actually reduces the absorbability of the carbs in our system. So our body suddenly isn't registering the glucose all at once anymore, and it gives us energy over time. And again, this approach actually helps our body to naturally feel more energy after meals for a longer amount of time. So I love this. Dr. Stevens pulled the trigger and did a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial study, a clinical trial for 2 weeks. And she hooked up, I think she had 15 people on continuous blood glucose monitors throughout the day. And this was not people with diabetes. So normal, responsive blood sugar type people. And she basically fed the group a standardized breakfast, and then they were monitored all day over this 2-week period. The results were significant. So if we look at these 2 graphs, this is the results, the spit out from the continuous glucose monitors. This is the group without assist, okay? So this was 2 weeks, and their average was 102 milligrams of glucose per deciliter of blood. With assist, all of a sudden now this average over the 2 weeks, you can see there's less peaks, less valleys, more of it just meted out, and the average is 89% or 89 milligrams per deciliter. So that's a pretty big deal. And that is how we, I think about it, because I have a hybrid car now and I'm commuting to Carson. And those days when it's really, really scary on the road, oh man, I am the old lady driving with my foot just somewhere between the gas and the brake. And I don't want to make any fast turns, and I don't want to hit the gas, don't want to hit the brake. This is the result. I end up getting 40 miles to the gallon in my little car when I drive it like that. So if we can take it easy on our bodies and have this kind of result, just taking 1 little capsule a day, man, that is going to help us feel better way later into our lifespan. Okay, so in this country, Dr. Osgood Thorpe, the director of chief medical director with doTERRA, he talks about a study from the Journal of Cardiology that found that less than 7% of people had optimal cardiometabolic health. And that means that we are really not supporting ourselves in the ways that we can, with fat consumption, with exercise, with blood pressure, stress management, how we metabolize our blood sugar, how quality our relationships are, right? Not just expecting our partner to be 100% of what we need, but dipping into community, keeping our weight at a manageable level, and how much our diet and supplementation are supporting our cells. So these are all factors that influence our metabolic health. So again, the wellness lifestyle is not all or nothing. Incremental changes over each of these areas really does work the best. Okay, so that was the end of assist. Is there anything else that you guys, any other questions before we move on to advantage? All right, let's do it. We might just blast through these slides faster than I thought. This is going to be good. Okay, MetaPWR Advantage is the pill that the product you've probably heard me talking about with the collagen and NMN. This is, again, it's been clinically developed to strengthen our metabolic health by addressing healthy aging with cofactors and precursors to cofactors that I'm going to explain here. So this is the package. Okay, this orange box comes with 30 packets of powder in it, and that's a 30-day supply. So it promotes healthy biological aging, improves our health span, activates the longevity genes in our body that might be dormant if we are not supporting them in a way that we could. Improves cognitive function. Believe it or not, when we give our bodies what they need, our brains work better. Go figure. Improves skin elasticity and firmness. Most of us think about this factor when we talk about collagen or hear about collagen, but it also supports lean muscle mass, connective tissue, and healthy bone density. So we're really talking about quality of life. This is not a beauty product. So preclinical studies show that supplementing with nicotinamide mononucleotide, or NMN, increases NAD levels, leads to more youthful functioning of cells and body systems. Again, we need more clinical research. And now that doTERRA has the integrated health clinics open, there are 4 in this country, we're going to be able to do that and really boost up the science to support these products. So Advantage is formulated with yeast powder NMN to help increase NAD and NADH. I know these are wonky terms, but basically NAD and NADH in our body is what makes collagen. And NAD levels drop from the time we're 25 until we die. There's less and less each year. And so when we think about how we're reducing our collagen, right? Our elastic, young looking skin and lean muscle, connective tissue, even bone density, these 2 little cofactors are really responsible for creating the collagen, and then their decline makes it drop. And when we talk about NMN, this is basically boosting our levels of NAD and NADH in our body. So this is all working really simultaneously together. And collagen is something that our body produces naturally when we have these levels higher in the body. And when they drop, that's when we start looking like we're aging. Collagen is the most abundant form of protein in our bodies. So this is a key component of connective tissues that build skin, muscle, tendons, and ligaments, and other parts. So it's a pretty big deal that we support our body's collagen levels. Okay, so Alex DeBell, one of our product vetting scientists, talks about the uniquely effective collagen, because not all collagen is the same. So most collagen products in the nutraceutical industry use 1 to 2 types of collagen, typically for skin and wrinkles, because they're appealing to the beauty people, right? People who are worried about their appearance. MetaPWR Advantage has 9 different types that we have selected for various functions in the body. So bone and cartilage strength, skin elasticity, and everything in between to support our body structure. Now, I'm not going to read through these, but you can see that these different types of collagen really do have different endpoints. Skin beauty, bone protection, cartilage, basement membrane, which connects the dermis and the epidermis and makes our membranes more malleable. Collagen fibers, which are really responsible for how our skin functions. Muscle function and cell membranes, inhibiting cell death and antioxidant stress. Here we go. Growth plates, joints, intervertebral discs, inhibits the peptides, which means inhibits the breakdown of our own proteins. This one is a collagen protein, and it's just boosting that level in your body. And this final last protein type is involved in cell growth and differentiation. If we're running or we're working out or we're doing yoga, we need to be growing new cells to be replacing those that we are breaking down, right? We need to be growing protein, growing muscle with our proteins. And so this differentiation is going to make sure that we are growing the types of proteins and cells that we need for our active living. Okay, so as you can imagine, all of these things affect our aging. And so if we're aging from the inside out, we're going to talk about how we have really an incredible product that's put together to overcome obstacles. Okay, so Dr. Nicole talks about obstacles in formulation, and this is honestly nothing I had ever spent time thinking about before, but it makes a ton of sense. A liquid product's delivery system must overcome two obstacles mainly: bioavailability. Collagens must be usable by the body. And so the Advantage product has tripeptides, which I've heard described by her as tiny little pieces of proteins instead of big, huge, massive molecules that we're expecting our body to break down and then assimilate. That just takes too much energy. So we're going to make it really easy by using tiny little pieces. Stability. Anytime we have a liquid formula, what we are doing with our collagens is trying to keep it suspended in liquid, but also readily assimilatable by our bodies. And that's sort of like putting the, cart before the horse. So what they realized would be the optimal thing is to sell a powdered form of this incredible collagen matrix, which we get to mix into water and consume immediately. It makes it the most available for us. It also gives the powder a long shelf life, and it has to remain available to our bodies as a liquid. So the result is that Advantage is 12 times more absorbable than any other collagens on the market right now. Factors in things like liposomal vitamin C because it actually works on a cellular level to make new collagen, and it stabilizes the proteins and the collagens that are already in our bodies. And I just can't say enough about it. So here we go, wonky wonk again. Dr. Nicole, she's so beautiful and inspiring. And I can't make this really easily understandable, but when we reach age 50, our natural NAD levels have dropped to half what they were when we were 20. And this is why we run into health challenges. So we're really looking towards the result here: more ATP for our bodies, which drives our energy. We're going to have more energy. Our cells are going to have more energy. Our body's going to work better. We are getting the cofactors for energy, and we're going to be achieving a more youthful appearance, higher energy, and cellular functions. And so for this reason, I think of this as the fountain of youth. This is about as close as it comes. I've seen some pretty amazing changes. I've just finished my 3rd month taking this set of products. And while I think that every body is different, there are some really common themes like jowliness going away in the way my face looks, any kind of oxidative stresses in my skin has been reduced. I am seeing that my clothes are fitting a little bit differently. And I am noticing that I am eliminating my foods a little bit differently. But, you know, that's just 3 months time. They say you can become a super user if you really want to up the ante in your reversing of the aging process. And I have heard of people using double amount for the first month or two and having some really more extreme effects. But that's up to you. I know for me, taking it as we're, you know, as the directions say, has been great. And it's not like it's a huge routine. I'm just adding in these little steps where I can. So I know that's a huge product line, and basically to break it down into nuts and bolts, you're going to want to take some form of MetaPWR internally each morning. You can put the oil in your water or take a soft gel or beadlet. So that's the other thing, the soft gels, and it's simply got the oil in it. It's not got anything else in it. And you can take them instead of using oil in your water or in addition to it, whatever you want to do. Some people don't like the flavor. I like the flavor, so I don't have a problem with it. But the soft gels are basically going to just augment, and maybe you want to take soft gels when you're having your cravings or preventatively when you know you'll have your craving. It's totally up to you. You know, they created these to support us in the ways that we need it the most. So throughout the day, you can use the oil for more support when you need it. And, you know, that is to say, Darlene, getting back to your question, I think whenever you have cravings or you feel like you need to boost your metabolism, take some. It's going to only help. It's not like you're going to take too much. Dr. Hill, I remember him one time when I was seeing him speak, he said, try not to bypass 35 drops of oils internally a day. And I use oils all the time, and I do not ever come close to 35 drops a day. So you can kind of use that as a guide. Anything less than that should be fine. So with your biggest meal of the day, you want to take MetaPWR Assist. And I like taking MetaPWR Advantage. I like taking it in the mornings. I don't always remember to take it in the mornings. And so, you know, it's going to work whenever you take it. The Assist is the one you really want to take with your largest or heaviest meal. The one with the most carbohydrates. So if you know you're going to have a glass of wine at dinner, that's when I take it, is dinner time. So that's that. I think that I relish in habit stacking. And, you know, the idea is that every step we take builds upon itself. And so if we use the cue to drive our habits, right? Say we need to wake up and be more energized. So we take MetaPWR Advantage in the morning and we make it a habit. The reward is that we're going to start looking really good. And once we start looking really good, we keep repeating it. We start feeling really good, we're going to repeat it. And then it is just going to be a feedback loop that improves our life and makes big lasting changes happen. And the routines, the wellness routines, I have worked with, well, at least 2 out of the 3 of you so far that are here to create, you know, wellness routines that make sense and that support you in the ways that are the most important. And this is what I really love to do. And I think that once you start having the benefits and reaping those rewards, that's when you get into overflow. And you're not serving others out of your cup, you're serving out of your saucer, because now you're in overflow into your saucer and you have extra energy and success to share with others. So that is what I have for you. Any questions?
I
This
do.
was great. Oh, go ahead, Darlene.
Okay, it was great. I agree, Corinne. I do have a question. Now, if you're gonna take the oil,
Mhm.
then you wouldn't have to take the beadlets and the soft gels. You'd want to do one of those, or could you just throughout the day change up whatever's most convenient, or how would that work?
You know, it's really all about you. Some people don't want to be taking soft gels. They'd rather just take oil in water. Some people don't want to mess with, they've got a plastic water bottle or whatever. They're drinking out of a Starbucks cup and they'd rather take a soft gel. So it's really just about what works the best for you. And honestly, there is no wrong answer. So, I think that, to be real, they make the assortment of products so that there's something for everybody. And it really truly is about making sure that you get what you need.
So if I'm taking the Vitality packet every morning with
Mhm.
all that, and in the morning, and then I take my stuff at night,
Mhm.
I'm just wondering, I don't want to overwhelm my body either.
Mhm.
And I just
Mhm.
feel like if I do all that at one time, I'm going to overwhelm. So if I do, like, say, I take the oil and stuff in the morning, and then I take all my, I just have to change up my routine because I wouldn't want to stop my Vitality
Right.
package.
Right. So you're talking about basically the only change in pills is adding one with your biggest meal.
Okay.
One pill, right? And then this is the little pouch. I'm actually just finishing mine because I forgot it this morning, true to what I said. And I drink this whenever. I do feel a little like I can notice just a little bit of energy, but it's not an energizing product, so you're going to take this whenever you want, and then use oils during the day as you normally do. They do have the chewing gum as well. Some people are like at a computer and they just really want to be chewing on something. I love the gum for that. But honestly, I keep the beadlets in my purse because they're not going to spill. I'm always kind of worried about oil bottles spilling in my purse, and that doesn't keep me from carrying them, but it's always in the back of my mind because it has happened. So the beadlets are a little bit more foolproof in that way. And so I think get the products that you're going to use. You can get them one at a time. You don't have to get the whole assemblage, which is really nice because I know when they first came out with it in the fall, you could only get the whole package, the box and all the bottles and the gum. Now, if you're ordering Lifelong Vitality, you can actually throw this on as an add-on to your vitamin pack and get it for a discount. You can also do the same thing with the MetaPWR Assist bottle and get it for a discount. So I know, you can also pair these up together and get them for a discount on their own. So it's kind of a way of just figuring out what makes the most sense when you're doing your order, and what you prefer for your lifestyle, and gravitate towards that. And then if you want to try something, racy and new later, you realize, hey, I really do like the lemon in my water. Maybe I want to do the beadlets, when I'm out on the go, or take the soft gels instead when I have a craving. Totally up to you. But the beadlets, the gum, the oil, and the soft gels are all variations on the theme of the oil.
Okay.
Then it's the Advantage packets that are going to be that collagen supplement. And then it's the Assist packets that are going to really help the blood sugar spiking. and reducing your damage from that.
Thank you.
Good questions. I love it. Anybody else have anything they want to share or ask?
No, I think Darlene nailed it on the head. Exactly what I had for questions. So, good job, Darlene.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to hear feedback. I'll be totally honest. I had a very interesting side effect to these things that I was not expecting. And that was a sense of well-being.
Wow.
And that I do a lot of wellness stuff, but I think, you know, the state of the world and humanity can be a little dark sometimes. And I was frankly surprised to feel that that result. So I think it's just more of giving the body what it needs. And honestly, we all can use that. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, great.
awesome. Well, ladies, I want to make sure everybody is aware of the YouTube channel. That's why I put this little critter up here. In the, oh, shoot, what did I just do? Oh my gosh. Okay. Hang on, I am not very good at this whole thing. I wanted to make sure that everybody saw the YouTube channel at Linnell Garfield 1553. That's where I do those sinusitis. Darlene, you were such a great inspiration. I really wanted to share those videos, share the information I shared with you on videos. So those are now videos on my YouTube
Much
channel.
appreciated. Much appreciated.
Absolutely. You know, the other thing that I wanted is to encourage everyone here to jump on into the Facebook group Wellness Inspiration if you're not there yet. And you know, this is how we get to use social media to really uphold and support each other in a communal way. And so that's just the Wellness Inspiration group. My website, if you ever want to hop on and see some of the other stuff I'm doing, is linnellgarfield.com. And of course, I forgot to put next week's class on here, and that class is going to be a wellness and vitality class. So really breaking it down, creating wellness routines, looking at the wellness pyramid, but also so many of us get wrapped up in all this extraneous stuff that we're doing. And this is breaking it back down to the basics. So we're going to go over the basic 10 oils and the lifelong vitality pack and really make sure that you are able to drive your wellness routine like a pro. You know, I maintain that this is the most elegant form of healthcare that we have, and most people drive it like a broken down mining pony. So I want to help you be a pro and get the most out of your investment and your time, and let's see what other kind of magic we can do together.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And you and everyone. It was nice meeting everyone.
Absolutely. Anything else,
ditto.
ladies?
Yeah, thank you, Linnell. Thanks for kind of bumping